Welcome back to the Selling Point Podcast, where we break down the real issues impacting sales performance for CEOs and business owners who don't have time for theory and need what actually works. I am your host, Anthony Nix, founder and fractional sales leader at Transformative Sales Systems. Today, we're talking about a topic that hits every small and mid-sized business at some point: selling on price versus selling on value. If you've ever felt your margins slipping, your salespeople discounting too quickly, or your deals feeling more transactional than strategic, this episode is absolutely for you. Because selling on price might feel like a win in the moment, but it's costing you a lot more than you think. Let's get into it. You know, most CEOs don't wake up saying, "I want my company to compete on price today," but it happens. Gradually, quietly, and sometimes without you even realizing it. Maybe your team is under pressure. Maybe your pipeline is thin. Maybe the competition threw out a low-ball number. Or maybe your salespeople just haven't been trained to have tougher value conversations. Discounting becomes that quick yes, that small win just to get something on the board. But here's the truth, and you already know this deep down. Selling on price is just a race to the bottom, and the bottom is very crowded. When your team uses price as a tool, you don't win deals. You just rent them. They're temporary, fragile, and they typically become your least profitable and most demanding customers. Let's talk about what it really means for your business. First, margin erosion. A 10% discount doesn't reduce profit by just 10%. In many small and mid-sized businesses, it can slash profit by 30 or even 40%. You're working harder and making less. Next would be lower quality customers. Price-driven buyers behave differently. They demand more, they complain more, they leave faster, they negotiate endlessly, and they are never the ones who refer you. Another issue would be damaged brand positioning. The moment your company becomes the cheaper option, you've been demoted from partner to commodity. Commodities are interchangeable. Commodities aren't trusted advisors. Commodities are stuck in the price aisle. Weak sales habits. When price is the go-to lever, your sales team gets lazy. Even good people. Why work through objections? Why clarify the problem? Why differentiate when you can just cut the number and move on? It trains your team to avoid the real work of selling. Now, why do some sales teams default to price? Now, here's the uncomfortable part. This isn't just a salesperson issue. It's a leadership issue. If your team keeps selling on price, it's because none of the following are clear enough to them. There's not a compelling value story. There's not a defined sales process. There's no clear pricing guardrails. Coaching and accountability absent. Consistent deal reviews never happen. Compensation is tied to margin, not just volume. Most small and mid-sized businesses don't have a sales leader. They have a CEO wearing the sales leader hat when time allows. And that gap is exactly where price-based selling grows. If you're listening right now and thinking, "Yep, that's us," the good news is that you can change this. And it starts with the system your salespeople operate within. Here's how CEOs shift from price-driven to value-driven sales. Firstly, you have to define your value story. Your salespeople cannot sell what they cannot articulate. They need to understand what problems you solve, what those problems can cost the client, why your approach is different, and what outcomes you can deliver. This clarity alone cuts discounting in half. Next, install a sales process that forces value conversations. A strong sales process doesn't allow your team to jump straight to price. It guides them through discovery, through impact and cost analysis, through alignment, through evaluation, and then finally, proposals. Quotes without context are invitations to discount. Setting your pricing guardrails. Your team must know how far they can go and what requires approval. This protects your margins and sends a message. We win on value here, not discounts. You also need to reward the right deals. If your comp plan only rewards closed deals, you've built a system that encourages discounting. Instead, reward margin quality or multi-year contracts or upsells within an existing client, expansion deals, ideal profile fits. Not all deals are created equal. You also need to coach your team weekly. Salespeople don't rise to the level of their potential. They fall to the level of their coaching. Coaching is where value-based selling is reinforced, refined, and held accountable. Now, fractional sales management potentially could help you. Now, here's what you might be thinking. All of that is great, but I don't have time to do it myself. And that's exactly right. That's where fractional sales management can come in. A fractional sales leader steps into your business like a part-time VP of sales and does what your team can't do alone. They'll help install sales discipline, coach your team, review deals, build value messaging, ensure pricing guardrails are followed, implement dashboards and scorecards, hold the team accountable, and shift your culture from price to value for good. You keep control of your business, your team gets the leadership they need, and you get predictable, value-driven sales growth. This is why more small and mid-sized businesses are moving towards the fractional sales management model. Now, here's a final thought. Let's just start to wrap this up. You get to decide what your company competes on. If you choose price, the rules are very simple. You're always one competitor away from losing a customer. If you choose value, the rules change. You build trust, you earn loyalty, you protect your margins, and you attract customers who want long-term partnerships, not bargain deals. Selling on price versus selling on value isn't just a sales approach. It's a leadership decision. And the company that wins, that really wins, chooses value every time. If today's episode hit home for you, share it with another CEO or other business owner that you might know that's stuck in that discount cycle. And if you know your team could benefit from real sales leadership, that's the kind that builds systems and builds confidence and builds value, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. You don't have to fix this alone. That is what Transformative Sales Systems is here for. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your attention, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Selling Point Podcast.